All right. Julie, if you'd stand by, we've got Senator Tammy Duckworth joining us to talk about what she's seeing and what she understands about this process thus far. Senator Duckworth, I really appreciate you being here as a member of the Armed Services Committee and a senator voting tonight. What's your understanding of the state of play?
Well, I think the vote is cooked. Basically, this is not John McCain's Republican Party anymore. This isn't Mitt Romney's Republican Party anymore. The folks who have the courage to stand up to Donald Trump are gone. And even those who have real concerns are not willing to jeopardize their own political survival and are willing to jeopardize our nation's national security. And it's really sad to be here watching this vote happen. I just cast my no vote on the floor. And I voted for both of Trump's previous Secretary of Defense nominees in his previous term, but they were qualified to do the job. And Pete Hegseth is by far unqualified to do this job, and they're just falling in line for him.
We've never had a defense secretary confirmed in terms like this. Depending on what happens with the final vote, it looks like Mr. Hegseth will be confirmed either with 50 or 51 votes in the modern era. I mean, actually in history, the closest we've ever had to something like that was Chuck Hagel in 2013, who was chosen by President Barack Obama to lead the Pentagon. That was considered to be an unusually close vote. He got 58 votes, including multiple Republicans crossing the aisle to vote for him. This is a 50 or 51 vote margin. I mean, we're used to defense secretaries being confirmed on voice votes, or in Leon Panetta's case, at 100-0 kind of vote. What do you think it means for the Pentagon to have somebody come in as their leader with this little support and this controversial and accused of all the things that Mr. Hegseth has struggled to parry during this process?
Well, it means very much instability in the Pentagon. Remember that during the confirmation hearing, Mr. Hegseth would not step away when he was asked from the question when he was asked. Donald Trump says he wants to come in and fire all the generals, all the people with experience. Would you oppose him? He wouldn't say that he would oppose Donald Trump. He was asked by Elise Slotkin, Senator Slotkin, if he would oppose Donald Trump, if Donald Trump told him to order military men and women to shoot peaceful protesters in the legs, which is what Donald Trump tried to do the first time around. And Pete Hegseth wouldn't say that he would oppose Donald Trump. This is a man that is not going to say no to Donald Trump. The Pentagon absolutely have to be just horrified right now. And you know what else is unprecedented, Rachel? The fact that he never met with a single Democrat on the Armed Services Committee prior to his confirmation hearing. I still have not met with him. And they've kept him and hidden him away from us because they know how supremely unqualified he is for this job.
While we've been speaking, Senator Duckworth, we've just had word that Senator Mitch McConnell, former Republican Senate leader, has just cast his vote on the nomination, and he was a no vote. So Senator Murkowski and Senator Collins, they had voted no on the procedural vote that effectively got us to this vote tonight, and so that was a strong signal that they would be a no vote on the substance in tonight's final vote. We did not know that Senator Mitch McConnell would also vote no. Can I get your reaction to that?
Well, I'm very much pleased to know that there's at least 3 Republicans who will put the well-being of our nation above themselves, which is really what our oath of office was about. I doubt that there will be another Republican who will cast a no vote. But you know what? I was there in the room when John McCain came in and went thumbs down and saved the ACA. So maybe there's one more person in the Republican Party who has some courage to stand up to Donald Trump. But remember that those who express even the slightest concern about Pete Hegseth came under just a torrent, a deluge, a flood of attacks from the MAGA base. Joni Ernst received so many threats and attacks, outright, threatening her, saying that they would primary her, all the way through to threats against her own security. Pete Hegseth's second wife, lives in fear. She has young children. As you've mentioned, she's under an NDA. She had to have a safe word because she was so afraid of him. If you talk to sexual assault survivors, domestic violence survivors, they are terrified, and they're not going to speak out against their abusers. And so here we are now at a place where we have a Secretary of Defense who is accused of these terrible, terrible domestic violence issues, is accused of having very low moral character. I mean, he was, described as being drunk, so drunk that he passed out in uniform in a strip club, and has had no experience running an organization of any size near the size of the Pentagon. In fact, the last company that he ran, not-for-profit he so badly bungled their finances, they had to bring in a forensic accountant to figure out what he did with the $10 million budget. And now they're going to put him in charge of a $900 billion Pentagon budget. It's a sad day for our nation. I fear for the military. I fear for our national security. I hope that at least another Republican steps forward. But, I have hopes, but I doubt that we're going to see that happen today, unfortunately.
You have hopes, but you also have eyes and ears to follow what is happening and how they've treated this nomination thus far. Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth, Iraq combat veteran, thank you so much for making time tonight as this vote is still underway. I really appreciate it, Senator.
Thank you, Dr. Maddow.